That's it. Play it out nice and easy.
What's the depth, please?
540 fathoms.
Is that all?
We also like speed, but not at the expense of safety.
How far is he now?
546 fathoms, sir. Anything wrong?
Sonar's been picking up echoes.
Of what?
Whales, in full migration, veering this way.
That could be what wrecked your deep-sea lab.
Captain, this is sonar. Whales approaching. Bearing 070. Range 5,000 yards and closing fast.
That's close enough for me. I'm aborting the dive. Chief, stop the winch.
Stop engine.
No, please, you can't. Admiral, you can't.
It's too risky.
Bring it up, Chief, fast.
Full reverse.
Hello, Apple One. Come in, Apple One. The diver's aborted. We're bringing you up.
What does he say?
Please stop talking English. He's saying a lot of stuff in Russian. I can't make it out.
Let me speak.
Just a minute, man.
It's all right, Chief. Let it talk.
Алексей? Катя? Ничего, сей спокойся. Водолаз отлосен.
Captain, this is sonar. The whales are all around us and moving fast. A couple of them are starting to dive.
Rig for possible collision.
Get that bell up in a hurry.
Rescue team, lay down at the aft missile room on the double.
Voyage to the bottom of the sea. Starring Richard Basehart, David Hedison, Voyage to the bottom of the sea.
Approaching the hug, Captain. Open the belly hatch and prepare to take her aboard.
Right, sir.
Skipper, look at this.
No need for you to watch this.
Okay, Kowalski, crack the hatch.
Come on, move, Kowalski. Take it easy. Easy now.
How long will it take
How long will what take?
to fix the damage? Get ready for a new dive.
This is no time to talk about another dive.
Don't you ever expect to accept some risk?
Only when necessary. The valve has to be repaired. Then there's a problem of picking just the right man for the dive.
When the bell is repaired, I'll go.
It's ready now, ma'am. At least it's ready for testing.
How long will that take?
Guess you have to get with Daddy on that.
Daddy?
Who else? You take this elevator down too soon, and it's a wipeout for all hands. You dig?
That young man, what dialect does he speak?
Him, ma'am? That's Riley. He's a surfer.
Surf is one of the United States.
Well, yes, ma'am. It's a state of being like way out.
I see.
You seem to be in need of an interpreter, Doctor.
Admiral, why is there delay in testing?
We're waiting for the whales to clear out of the test area. You know as well as I do that when they're migrating, they have a one-track mind. They don't go around it, they go right through.
How soon?
The end of this week at the earliest.
Impossible.
Dr. Markova, we're scientists, we're not guinea pigs. We don't ask a man to lay his life on the line unless every avoidable risk has been eliminated.
Perhaps in your country, not in mine.
You have my sympathy.
I don't want your sympathy. Only cooperation. Once before I went over your head to my government, and yours. I'm ready to do it again.
Doctor, you've seen the results of one collision with a whale. If you'd been a little more patient then, your colleague would still be alive.
Alexis was more than a colleague. He was my very good friend. This is a joint project.
At the cost of how many more lives?
What will be the cost in lives one day if we don't go back now, before it's too late?
But be realistic, Doctor. A few more days and we may do it safely.
A few more days. Hundreds of migrating whales will have passed through this area. I doubt very much if there'd be enough left of our laboratory to put into a teacup. We must salvage what we can at any cost. If you are too tender-hearted to risk a man, I shall go myself.
Kowalski, would you volunteer to go down in this thing as it stands?
Sir? Are you asking me or telling me?
Just asking.
Yes, sir, I would.
All right, you got yourself a pilot.
Thank you very much.
No, not him. Me.
The great sperm whale. Equipped by nature with a homing device that makes your sonar look like a primitive child's toy. For the first time, we will have a chance to learn how it functions and how to adapt lessons for use either in submarines or for the automatic harvesting of giant underwater crops. Doesn't that excite you at all?
You know perfectly well that it does.
Perhaps you resent sharing this work with my country.
Oh, it may be that, as yet, we don't need it quite as desperately as you do.
You call yourself a scientist. Why, even this submarine of yours is nothing but a horse and buggy compared to what could be achieved within a few years if bureaucratic dunderheads like yourself weren't always shivering about the possible loss of a human life.
We'll call it a weakness if you like, but we happen to believe that every life is important.
Admiral, this is a war we are fighting. A war to keep up with the population explosion before it wipes us all off the map.
Dr. Markova, I've been fighting this war of yours at least as long as you have. But I also know that each time there's an accident or a casualty, it sets us back far more than if we'd waited until it was safe to proceed.
Admiral, this is the exec. All systems ready to lower away.
Ready?
Anytime you are.
Chip, how close are we to the undersea lab?
Fathometer reading
930, straight down.
Very well, fill the airlock. Pressure 1.5 atmospheres.
Pressure 1.5 atmospheres. Aye, sir.
We've been in a bathysphere, underwater.
Alexis was the adventurous one. I was strictly lab and test tube. But from now on, I'll be both.
You have to realize we'll be down there at least 3.5 hours. Now, once we're down, no matter what happens, there's no quick way we can get back to the surface.
You have time to back out.
Use an umbrella.
Leaking.
No, the pressure on the outside is squeezing the two halves together so tightly, it's forcing all the remaining moisture out of the joints. Of course, if the pressure should increase beyond a certain point,
They're out of visual range now. Pick it up on sonar.
Aye, sir.
Sweep radius 1 mile. Report anything large enough to make even a smudge on the screen, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, as soon as he reports a blip, you try and pick it up on visual.
Aye, sir.
Can you go any lower?
uh-huh.
Seaview calling Apple 1. Urgent. Repeat. Urgent.
Go ahead, Seaview.
We're picking up a blip on sonar. Could be a whale, a big one.
How close?
Less than a mile.
Headed which way?
Straight at you from the looks of it.
We'll keep tracking it.
Aye, sir, but it seems to be traveling at a fantastic speed.
How fast?
What's its speed? Estimated 50 knots, sir. I know this sounds unbelievable, Admiral, but it's an estimated 50 knots.
I believe you. Haul us back up.
No, only 1 more minute. I must have a full report of the damage.
Another time.
There won't be another time. You know they won't. Another day and all this will be destroyed.
Sorry. Seaview to Apple 1. Whale within 900 yards and closing fast.
Admiral,
Yes, Lee?
I'm going to expel 100 gallons of shark repellent. Now, it won't scare him off, but it may blind him just long enough to miss you.
You better wait till he gets close.
Right. Depth 410. Keep it steady.
Aye, aye, sir.
Missile room, this is the captain.
Chief Sharkey here, Captain.
Load 100 gallons of shark repellent. Number 3 tube. Expel on signal.
Aye, aye, sir. Ready to expel, Skipper.
Right. Let it go.
Go.
Crash dive. Set a pursuit course and overhaul that whale.
Aye, sir. Prepare to dive.
We're at flank speed now, catching up. Can we put a torpedo in them?
No. If we kill a whale, they're finished too.
You don't believe they're still alive in that thing? They couldn't be.
Why not? The Belle's watertight, isn't it? They've got oxygen. There's still a chance, a good one.
He knows we're after him. He's trying an evasive action.
All right, stay with him. No matter what he tries, you keep on his tail. I'm going to the missile.
Aye, sir.
Range 870.
870. Number 2, delayed action.
Ready to load, sir.
Load the warhead with 500 cc's of anodyne.
We got it right here, Skipper.
Now, wait a minute. Make it 3/4 strength. I don't want to paralyze the whale completely. He'd sink like a rock and we'd never see him again.
Aye, aye, sir. 3/4 strength it is. Robbie, load the warhead.
Skipper. But how do we get the Admiral out of there?
We go in after him. How else?
Well, you see, Kowalski,
Man, that'll make riding a hot tube seem like kid stuff.
Range 75 yards and closing fast.
At 50 yards. Give orders to fire.
right.
Range 65 yards. 55 yards. Range 50 yards. 48. 45.
Now, fire 2.
Where are we now?
Well, we seem to be in a sort of state of temporary suspension.
Where's my camera? Look at this. Blunderer.
Yeah, I seem to be a little bit out of practice.
I want to get back to the sub at once. I will make a new dive this afternoon. This time with an experienced pilot.
I see what you mean.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Frankly, I can't think of anything else to do at the moment.
We have just enough air left for 92 minutes. That should last us easily till we get back. We start right now.
Dr. Mankova, do you have the slightest idea of where we are?
Impossible. There is no whale now in existence big enough to swallow this.
The Archaeoceti.
Long ago extinct.
To revive a tired old joke, you know it and I know it, but perhaps he doesn't. After all, our ancestors weren't skeptical about the story of Jonah. They knew that there were fish big enough to swallow a man.
Ancient history. Myths.
Sorry. Didn't mean to taunt you with a book you've never read.
The Bible, I've read it. I am not ignorant. Jonah, of course, was a very poor sailor, though perhaps he would have made a good admiral. How do we get out? We can't sit here and wait.
Now, look, a few moments ago, the whale suddenly quieted down. And it may just have gone to sleep, but on the other hand, someone might have put him to sleep.
Even if they have put him out for a moment, how will you men get us out of here? Before the air gauge hits 0.
Now, this is a cross-section of the whale's anatomy.
Do we go right into him, sir? Past those teeth?
That's right, right in here.
Man, that's wild. Sir, are just the 3 of us enough?
Oh, I think so, Kowalski. You, Riley, and myself.
Large whale, dead ahead. Collision course.
Evasive action, hard left rudder.
Man, dig that fish! Brace yourselves.
All systems on emergency power.
Steady as you go.
And we better keep dodging?
No, keep on his tail. I'm trying to beat him. It's the only way to make sure he won't sink. Missile room, this is the captain. Tube number 4. Stand by the fire.
He's down on the ledge, quiet as a baby.
Hard right, brother. Come about in a full 360-degree turn. Is the cable in position?
Yes, sir. A titanium cable with a 5-inch hook. You'll find it right next to the airlock outside. It's light, but good and strong, sir.
Good.
All systems normal.
Have a man stand by the winch with a fire hose. Just in case the friction on the cable heats it up too fast.
We'll handle everything on this end, sir.
You ready?
Aye, sir.
Let's go, Skipper. What's the pressure in the airlock?
1.47.
Very well.
We have perfect trim. You'll be able to swim right into the jaws.
Well, let's hope they stay open. I'd hate to try and cut our way through a 15-foot wall of bone and blubber.
Sir, excuse me, but couldn't we keep his jaws propped open with a couple of those 5-inch steel girders we got stored for collision?
No, he'd snap one of those like a toothpick. Now, once we're inside, if you see him tighten his jaws, fire another charge of anesthetic.
Half strength?
Half strength. Just behind the skull. You got it?
Right.
All right, let's get to work.
Sir?
Just don't you worry, sir. And you two. Just bring back these suits in one piece, you understand?
All right, Chief.
Take care now.
Diving party in the water. They have visual contact with the whale now. Still have contact, Sparks? It's getting fainter. The skipper said they'd just entered the whale's jaws.
Don't lose contact.
I'll do my best. Tube 4. 500 cc's anodyne, half charge. Prepare to fire.
Ready on 4.
Fire 4.
That's just a whack on the head. I'll survive.
Air. No air.
There's no shortage of oxygen yet.
I can't breathe. The gauge is wrong.
It's a constriction of the windpipe. You're plain scared. Got it. Take a couple of swallows of this. Yeah. Swallow.
Oh. Thank you.
We gotta come to a decision now.
For what? How to die?
Two possibilities. We could use the rocket launcher to try to blast our way out of here.
We can? Then what are we waiting for?
For the last possible moment. Because the odds would be about 10 to 1 against us.
10 to 1. Percentages, statistics. Even with your life hanging by a thread. Admiral, you are the perfect bureaucrat.
Katya Markova, do you have any idea of how deep we are? Well, I don't. Even if we blasted the bell out of here with a grenade launcher, we'd still have to fight our way out. And we'd have to try to swim to the surface. If we were too deep, we'd be crushed.
What's our other choice?
Well, we could discharge the petroleum in the ballast tanks. Perhaps that might irritate the whale's stomach enough so that he'd try to disgorge us the way the great fish did to Jonah after 3 days.
I don't want to pin my life on the accuracy of a fairy tale.
Well, actually, Jonah wasn't the only man to ever make it back from the belly of a whale.
More fairy tales.
No. This is a pretty well-documented case about an English sailor named James Bartley. And he spent 24 hours in the stomach of a sperm whale back in 1891. And he got out alive. Bleached, white as a bone, and quite mad.
Charming. Well, which is it to be?
Neither one. For the moment, I prefer to wait.
For what? For Captain Crane? To come and send a squad of volunteers right into the jaws of a whale?
Well, what would you suggest that we do? Bail out?
Launch the explosive. Have done with it.
But I'm afraid that if we launch the explosives, we might kill anyone attempting to rescue us.
You told me you people believe every life is precious. Then why should they risk a single life for ours?
Yes, that's just the point. It's because every life is important that they'll risk anything to try to save us.
Have you reestablished radio contact with the captain? We were reading each other 5 by 5 till the whale closed its jaws. I guess those radio signals got smothered in all the tons of blubber.
Keep trying.
Yes, sir.
Put the knife away! He'll be squeezed to death! Another pain reaction like the last one and we'll all be dead! Wait a minute! I'll use a short-wave unit. Ultrasonic waves. It'll relax the muscular constriction. of you. Unless I signal.
Okay.
"22 minutes left.
So it would seem.
And still no sign.
What sort of a sign were you expecting?
Too bad your book of Jonah wasn't more specific about the procedure he employed.
Oh, but it is. It's quite specific.
Really?
He simply and, well, quite sensibly, I suppose, addressed himself to the author of his temporary misfortune. But I must cast me into the depth, into the heart of the seas. I went down to the bottoms of the mountains. The earth with her bars closed upon me forever. Yet hast thou brought up my life from the pit.
Of course, all we have is his side of the story.
Oh, he was called Jonah ben Amittai, the son of the truthful one. He must have been pretty good at his job. Otherwise, the Lord wouldn't have sent him to try to save the corrupt city of Nineveh. Just as you went down to the heart of the seas to try to save your laboratory.
And I will save it. Now you've done it.
We got 16 minutes of air left. 16 minutes to get this thing fixed.
The captain ain't here now. Better wait till he comes back. Call it. You want to make this a real flakeout? You want to die here? You hurt that whale and everybody's going to die. No! No!
The Admiral has 13 more minutes of oxygen left. If he's still alive. Any contact with the captain?
No, sir.
Keep trying. Another 10 or 12 minutes and they might as well turn back. If they can.
Can't you do it any quicker? Six minutes left to go. Wouldn't it take us almost that long to reach the surface?
Yeah. If we're blown free, if we can manage to scramble out of the barrel, and if we're not too deep to fight our way back to the surface.
And if we are too deep?
You better follow the example of Jonah.
What's that?
Pray hard.
Will it work now?
Keep away.
Do you want to wait until we're out of oxygen?
Frankly, I'm still willing to gamble there's someone out there trying to get to us. Someone who'd be killed if we fire this too soon.
Got it, Skipper! Good!
Blast our way out after all. Just hope we can make it. Now, the explosion should blow us free from the whale the way an ejector seat does in a jet airplane. Just hope it doesn't blow out these portholes, too.
I suppose if there had been a rescue party.
Well, it's too late for that now.
Admiral.
Yeah?
The man who died in this spill, Alexis. Next month we were to be married. Before he went down, he said to me, almost his last words, people like us, like you, we should be friends.
Take a deep, deep breath. On a count of 3, hold it as long as you possibly can. 1, 2.
Until he's at 2,000 feet of cable.
Did you get the cable attached? Aye, aye, sir.
No. We'll try to reel him in and hope he doesn't break the cable. Start reeling in the cable at 3 feet per second.
Call me if you feel him fighting.
Aye, aye, sir. Reel in 3 feet per second. starting to fight it. Keep reeling him in. Can you reel him in, Chief? I don't know, sir. He's fighting it pretty hard.
Keep pulling him in.
Yes, sir.
Chip tells me we've been getting all sorts of radio calls from the press services. They want to know all about what it was like down there.
That's right, ma'am. Particularly your impressions.
My impressions were recorded long ago.
Recorded?
I went down to the bottoms of the mountains. The earth with her bars closed upon me forever.
Yet hast thou brought up my life from the pit.